welcome back to this channel where we talk about relationship. So as I said in our previous video, that today we shall be looking at the effects of abusive relationship. That is, what are the effects of abusive relationship on the victim? So let's go right into it. The effect on healthy relationship can either be long-term or short-term. You know, this is determined mainly by maybe like the age of the victim when the abuse started, or things like who was the abuser and how long were they exposed to this abuse, and other factors too that may determine will the effect be long-term or short-term. So let's go into it. Let's look at what are the short-term effects of abusive relationship on the victim. The short-term effects of abusive relationship. Number one, we talk about isolation and loneliness. If you remember, when we're talking of the signs of abusive relationship, we talk about isolation. You know, due to exposure to being isolated from others, before you know, the victims themselves, they sort of isolate themselves from people around them, from the society. This may be maybe to protect themselves from being abused again or other things, but you see them, they are isolated, and of course that leads to loneliness. So within that period of time, they'll be going through that isolation and loneliness. And the second one is self-doubt. As we talked about, you know, one of the things that makes the abuse to be possible is the abuser make the victim to have a sort of doubt in themselves, in their self-worth, and the worst of it is gaslighting. That is when the victim starts to doubt even their own sanity. They start thinking, am I seeing well? Am I hallucinating? Am I just making up stories? Or is it real? And things like that. So self-doubt, before you know, the victim starts having a kind of doubt about themselves, about their worth. Are they really worth loving? Or can people really love them? Can they love back? And other things like that. And the third one is shame. Shame, before you know, they become ashamed of themselves. At times they feel, oh, how can I be so stupid? So that makes them feel ashamed of themselves, that, oh, I was so stupid, or the abuser has been telling them, you are stupid, you are brainless, you don't have head, you're a fool, and things like that. And you see them in public, they withdraw because of shame. Number 4 point is confusion. They are confused. They don't even know the next thing to do, because most of the time they are agitated. If I do this, will he be pleased? If I do that, will she be pleased? Before you know, in their mindset of pleasing people, because what they do is just mainly to please people, not that they are living their lives again. So you will see them confused, not knowing what people want of them, what people expect them to do at any given time. And that confusion setting, even over them, you can see it that, oh, this person is just confused about life. So confusion is another short-term effect of abuse. And then another thing is, that's the 5th point, the fear of interacting with others. Because of what they have been exposed to in that abusive relationship, they find it difficult to interact with others, to mingle with people, to make friends, and all sorts of things like that. Then another point is avoidance of activities that is related to the abuse. So you see them that, okay, if you ask them to do something that may remind them of those abusive years of their life, you see them trying to avoid it, So they are not really open to different things that happen in life, but they try to avoid some things and then try to live up some things. So in our next video, we shall be talking about the long-term effect of abuse, the long-term effect of abuse or abusive relationship on the victim. Till I come your way again, remain blessed.